Hi everybody, Prepper Del here, welcome back to my channel. This is my update on my modded budget survival knife. If you remember the first one to it, it was an Explorer 1980s replica budget survival knife. Prepper in the Woods did a video on it and he asked me could I do anything with it to make it a better working survival knife. So let's see what we did. You've seen the original, so this is the next part to it. The knife itself, I've not changed anything with it. There's no point. Any knife you've got in a survival situation, you must look after and you mustn't abuse it and you must use it the best way possible. Keep it for small tasks, cutting cordage, gutting, cleaning, small game. Don't try and be silly buggers and batten with it, stuff like that. Nothing's changed with it, didn't see any point. I've still kept the same kit inside. No point in changing it. Still the same stuff. The little capsule with the scalpel fishing kit in it. The only thing different is I threaded the fish hooks and the sewing kit. Always important to do that. Make sure if you've got a fishing kit in a survival kit or a needle and thread, thread them. You're not going to be able to thread a couple of days in the survival with nothing, so make sure that you pre-thread things so that you're able to throw it out. So let's get on with the main part. What did I do to change it? So let's take a look at the sheath. I had a couple of spare pouches. I've attached those to them, as you can see. Did I change anything with the sheath? Nope. I kept the metal catapult part and I actually used that to attach to help attach the bottom the bottom pouch, as well as securing it on, so it gave me an extension onto it. Kept that the same. I braided the paracord on. Now a lot of you are like, why did you braid it and not wrap it? This is called the Del wrap. Now I'll tell you the reason behind this is you can cut it off in sections and each section will stay intact where you cut it once you've tied a knot in it, so you can actually use it in stages rather than trying to unravel it and tie a knot. So if you just cut that bit with a knife, that part there with a knife, that bit would unravel. Tie a quick knot in there, Bob's your uncle. You haven't got a pile of cordage in a bird's nest. So that's why I do the Del wrap. On the other side there, I've got the classic BCB Fire Striker. You've seen me use these. I like these. Great bit of kit, nice and handy. Again, I extra secured this on, so I like to keep all my kit secure. It's on a good length. I won't lose that at all. I've also got a proper snare that will be secured in the back there. There's no point in messing about with brass wire, trying to make loops, trying to wipe your smell off it, things like that. This is a proper made snare. So I carry that, it tucks in there nicely. And that's secured in, and that's what I use. So buy a proper snare, put it in your kit. Don't use the picture wire shit. Let's have a really look. I'll see what we've got. So inside the sheath itself, I showed you it had a little pouch, a little insert that comes with things already pre in it. The catapult string, stuff like that. I didn't bother with that. All I've done there is I've kept the gut and fishing spear hook with the cordage on it. That there is all fire tinder, jute and fat wood, all in plastic bags, completely waterproof. For me, survival is fire. You know, without fire you're absolutely screwed. So you need fire regardless. That's what I've done with that. That was the best use of that for me. Got rid of all the other crap. The saw, you're not going to use a saw. In a survival situation, you can snap branches all day long. Dead branches. You don't need to mess about with a wire rope saw to try and cut something. So, kept it simple. Kept a fish gut hook, spear point with the nylon on it, and just extra fire tinder. What else do we have on it? Put a torch on it. Not always a survival item. You don't know how long you're going to be out for. So treat it as an everyday carry, but doubles up as a survival. Just a recree torch. Has different functions. Strobe. We can SOS with it as well. Again, secured. Everything is double secured onto my kit. Another little carabiner clip. You can take it off and attach that to your belt pocket. The next thing I added The bottom is an old Leatherman's pouch. Inside that is a double Mylar survival blanket. The reason why it's double is you can use one to lay on the ground shelter in, and you can use one as a fire screen under any debris shelter that you build. So there's two wrapped there, two survival blankets wrapped, and obviously once you took your shelter away you can still put it in there. Second item, which I think is imperative, is a Sawyer straw, life filter straw with a tube. Again, secured to the rig, loops round on a little clip again. We can take it off as and when we use it. Invaluable, absolutely invaluable. You can drink all the shitty water in the world just about. So again, it fits nicely onto the pouch. What else do we have in here? I added a few extra things. This is not everyone's idea of a survival kit. Again, thinking on your feet. This is just what I've packed, so you can think of your own things. When it's cold and wet, I've put magnesium shavings in. Take a fire in the wet instantly. Handy, 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 like that. Survival whistle, really good. And an energy bar. Don't have to. Well, it's 2 emergency food rations actually. It's a food ration, so you don't have to eat it all at once. So break a bit off, eat a bit. Bob's your uncle. You've got some form of ration in your kit. I also put this handy hint card in. Now, in different survival situations, you've not had food, you've not had water, your brain starts slowing down. You need prompting, you know. Instead of getting a bit lethargic and that, just have something like a little prompt card. This is just a tiny pocket survival prompt card. Survival chant, calm yourself down, etc. His and hers hazards, injury shelter, heat, energy rescue, stop, think, orientation plan, don't panic, trails and travels, food and water. There's also more things on the back, winter, first aid, signals, fire and shelter. Very handy when your brain starts shutting down because you've had no food and no water. So that there is how I turned a low budget survival knife into what I think is my survival kit knife. Making the best out of maybe the worst. That's what I've done with that. So we've got shelter, we've got some form of food, we've got the filter straw, we've got signalling, we've got fire. They're the keys for survival for me. I hope you enjoyed that quick demo, and I hope people do your own. Buy a cheap survival knife and let's see what you come up with. That's all I did with Prepper in the Woods, so I'd quite like to see other people take it on. You know, 12, 15, 20 quid most. Go and do it. All this kit was just lying about in other kits that I've got, and I just put it all together. So make yourself one. Even if you only ever keep it in your vehicle. That's all I wanted to show you. My budget survival knife and my modifications to it. So as always, thanks for watching everybody. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. As always, keep prepping, Prep-a-del.